On March 5th, 2012, FilmCourage.com had the opportunity to attend a press roundtable interview with the two stars of Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, Emily Blunt and Ewan McGregor. This audio is an excerpt of this press day. For more information on the film, please visit fishingintheyemen.com.
Brilliant time with the last one, couldn't understand the words he said.
Fabulous!
That's how we felt on set.
Yeah.
You just nod and smile and do what you want.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you guys talk about the training process, the Chinese and the
No, we
fishing?
can't talk about that. That is classified.
Classified.
Sorry, yeah.
That's processing.
Chinese. How did you learn Chinese, Emma?
I had a very nice Chinese lady teacher came around to my flat, and she had translated it from the script. The script had just had it in English, and it simply said in brackets, she speaks this in fluent Chinese. And I was like, okay, so I have to learn Mandarin at some point. And Lassa was incredibly laid back about the idea. And I was like, no, we shoot this in 2 weeks. It's going to take me some time. Like, we should probably learn this. And he went, oh, yes, we should probably get on this soon. You know, he's just so laid back. So, yeah, this woman came around and I learnt it phonetically. So I know nothing about how to say hello, how are you, but I do know how to talk about salmon.
But she nailed it. My wife speaks Mandarin, and she said she did a very, very good job.
And it was very complex, all the tones, and that was very interesting to know that I could be making
notes. Can you do a bit of it now? Can you believe that I asked you?
It's so good.
That is perfect.
I don't know, I've lost
That is the sandstone. We're worried about.
Yeah, worried about the water pressure, sandstone walls, and like all that stuff.
When you were both getting started as actors, did you think one day I've got to do a movie about salmon transplantation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a goal for many young actors.
Many actors,
in Britain,
yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
British actors are always looking for a salmon fishing movie. It's true.
Do you think that could be a hurdle to audiences, or what would you tell them that yes, there's something in this movie for everyone?
I don't know. I'm never very good at kind of selling film.
Yeah.
But I think the title's very literal, and it's a film about salmon fishing in the Yemen, and it's called Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. I think it's interesting. It's not the run-of-the-mill kind of title, so it should pique some interest. And I think we're doing an enormous amount of press, so that people, hopefully, by the time they hear the title, will have heard us somewhere on television talking about it, so they'll know it's not
a love story,
documentary about Middle Eastern fly sport fishing. You know what I mean? I hope.
Do you have any fishing tips? What did you learn from
It's a lovely thing to learn to do. I mean, it's a beautiful. It's really at like the top notch of fishing, because it's particular. You're trying to catch only fish that feed from the surface. And generally you do it in very beautiful places, Norway, Russia, Scotland, cold water places. And so fly fishermen end up traveling a lot and traveling to very beautiful, remote places. So I think it's very good for the soul.
Yeah.
And the actual challenge of it is far harder to catch a fish that way. So it's quite spiritual, I think, in a way. It's nice.
Did you catch?
No, no, but I'm not. Whenever I've gone fishing very rarely, but for those reasons, you know, to be quiet and to contemplative and be somewhere beautiful. And the actual catching of a fish is something that I'm not really interested in. And you just got really seasick when you went fishing.
Yeah, my experience fishing when I was younger was that my dad who loves to do the deep sea fishing, you know, we have to go way out, which also means huge waves. It was particularly off the coast of the UK, and so we would go off the coast of Scotland and Cornwall, and, you know, Dad would book these 8-hour fishing trips, and we'd come back, you know, the colour of your shirt, you know, it would just be so ill, and...
No offence, like...
Yeah, it would be the colour of that. And I'd just be hurling off the side of the boat the whole time. I don't have good sea legs, as they say.
But you've got good legs.
Oh, God bless you!
So you got to return to the homeland, kind of.
Yeah, not kind of, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And now that you live in LA, what was that experience like? You know, going back to your roots and kind of rediscovering a proper Scottish accent, kind of, because you kind of have this.
Well, I mean, I've made 4 movies in Scotland, and 5 actually now, including this one. So it wasn't, there's no great sense of like rediscovery or like a homecoming for me because I go there every year, you know. I'm attached to Scotland in my heart and I love it. So I didn't have to sort of rediscover it, but I did shoot, most of the films I've made have been in Glasgow, which is an amazing city. But we shot right up in the Highlands, right in the heart of the Highlands. And it is absolutely majestic up there. It's beautiful. So that was new. And when you're filming, you do have lots of time to hang around, as you know. So it's quite nice to hang around just looking up at the hills. And I liked it very much being back there. It was lovely. It was very important, special to me in that respect. And I worked in that into my character, into Alfred, who's not in the novel, isn't Scottish. He's not written as a Scotsman. And I felt very strongly when I read the script that he could be, and that it would help if he was. And then when I met Simon, he encouraged me to use this accent, this Morningside accent, which is a very uptight Edinburgh accent, kind of a little bit faux posh. And I wasn't sure about it. And then I first met Emily. We met in the rehearsal room with Lassa, and I was telling her that I didn't know whether to use this accent or not. She said, let me hear it. So we read a scene with it, and she went, you've got to use that accent. You've got to do it.
It's so funny, and it changed you completely.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
It was instant, and I think that's what is really nice. I think that's what I like about all the physical aspects of, creating a part. And it is important, voice and the way you move. How does this character feel in your skin? How would she sit? How would she do that? What would she feel? Do you know what I mean? You want to feel them in your bones a little bit. And so I think changing your voice like that, it just did something to everything about you. It was crazy.
It was good.
Really cool.
So that was nice. And then when we're in the helicopter going back, all of my job was to sort of unpeel Alfred from this rock at the beginning where he's all locked up. So we're in the helicopter going back to Scotland. Do you remember Lassa came up with some terrible dialogue for us to say? We're like, we're not. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. but I thought he should say he hasn't been home for a long time. So for Alfred, it really is like, here's the first layer coming off him where he's come out of his element, out of the office, out of his scientific, miserable marriage. He's in the Highlands of Scotland for the first time in a long time, and he's and then he gets sent off fishing by the sheikh. Very cleverly tells his butler to send him fishing. We see him fishing. We see that he's different. He's slightly calmer and nicer. I don't know. It was nice. It was nice to do it up there. It was nice.
What do you think it takes to get out of a rut like that in life?
God. There's 2 days to go. Massive change.
Or drown.
Death.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know what everybody's got different ruts.
Yeah. And different ways of getting out.
Well, like a top tip that you learned.
Well, I'm not really in a rut, so I'm in a profession that means, for Alfred.
Yes, like what did you learn watching him, like, wow, this is what it's going to take, like a Band-Aid straight off?
Oh, I see. Well, it was a very slow process of like peeling back the layers. And for him it meant change. It meant ultimately, leaving his marriage, and it meant...
You had wonderful melting hauteur in this. It means melting haughtiness. Hauteur.
Is that like a fashion thing?
I don't know, actually.
Lovely melting couture.
You're just funny. Yeah.
I came in, I was covered in cheese.
How do I spell couture?
Hauteur.
Hauteur.
That's a lovely thing to say. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You could chart the progression of your character by how well combed his hair was.
Well, no, that was very important. I mean, that's absolutely a tool. You use costume, makeup, hair. The accent softens as you go through. So at the beginning, it's much more uptight with his accent. By the end, it's not. It's much softer.
And your hair just evolved.
And the hair was really part of that. Absolutely. So those are all tools to do that, to make that work.
It was funny being in the makeup first in the morning when they put, the early Fred side parting.
Horrible.
And he'd look in the mirror and just go, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
every morning. And by the time we got to Morocco, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was nice to play with all that stuff. It's really helpful.
You mentioned how laid back Lassa was, and Bill Condon was originally set to direct. He had cast the two of you. So, was it just when Lassa comes on, what kind of
is laid back great for you? Was it different than what you had worked with before? How did it work for you?
I don't mean in the sense that he, he doesn't care about these aspects, but I think Lasser is incredibly collaborative, and I think he's very open, and I think he's willing to let you find it and you play with it, and I think he works quite similarly to how Ewan and I like to work, which was a relief, that he likes to keep things fresh and spontaneous, and so going into a scene, how it was on the page usually wasn't how it ended up when we started doing it, and that's a real joy when you can stretch a scene around and make it and go down different little paths that you didn't expect. But Lasse he's really a quirky dude. He's really odd in the most wonderful way, and he almost I don't know if I still can get a read on him, because he always plays the part of the buffoon, and he's always making silly jokes and tripping himself up to make us laugh, and it's like he plays the part of a clown to sort of diminish his position on set. I think he wants to be part of the gang. He doesn't want to, be seen to be the one with all the answers, because I think he likes to see them unravel for themselves,
I think like all great directors, he stands in the middle of a great many brilliantly creative people, and he lets them all work to their best, and he just he gently wrangles that, but he lets everybody excel, and poor inexperienced directors are the ones who feel like they have to make every single decision, and everything has to go through them, and the actors must stand here and do this.
And everyone gets straitjacketed, which is not pleasant. But I think what you want in a director is a point of view, and you also want a kind of openness, and for them to install some kind of confidence in you. But I think a point of view is important, for sure.
Where does salmon rank on your list of favorite fish?
I don't like salmon.
I do like salmon. I mean, I think they're unbelievably interesting in terms of their life cycle.
Oh, I mean to eat.
No, I know. I'm coming to that, but I just want to be a bit of fish science in there.
Oh boy.
Like the fact that they go out to sea and they come back to exactly this. Come down the coast of Scotland and they turn left up the river they were born on. How do they fucking know?
How do they do it?
And they go back to where they were born to spawn, and then they die. I think they're really fascinating. I think they're very tasty with eggs in the morning.
I've heard a fantastic turtle story.
Oh no, stick with the salmon.
No, go on, you can't.
No, it's amazing. The mummy turtle comes up the beach, and she...
It's a joke.
No, it's real. No, this is amazing.
Mummy turtle comes up the beach and says...
She gives birth, she has all the eggs, the little turtles hatch, and they start to go like down the beach, and a lot of them don't make it. And a lot of them do it at night when there's less birds and stuff. You go down the beach, and probably like an eighth of them actually make it, maybe less, 10th. And they go out to sea, and years later, when they're ready to be mummy turtles, they come back to the same beach that they were born on. Is that not friggin' awesome?
That's the same as a salmon.
No, it's not.
But you're eating nutritionalized food well, so you're about the same.
I like them. Smoked salmon I'm very partial to. What? Scottish smoked salmon. First thing in the morning, bit of eggs.
It's good for your skin, too.
Is it? What, did you lay it on?
Oily.
If you had tomorrow morning, lie there with Ev, and I've got salmon all over my face. No, this journalist told me it was very good for your skin.
What was it like swimming in 18 inches of water in that river scene?
Grazing. Grazing.
It was cold, and also, it was you're literally scuffing along the stones. We're trying to make it look serene and nice. Oh, this is nice.
That was actually the best acting we did in the movie, because we would be getting into the stream, and we'd be kind of walking in like that, and the desert climate just plummets at night. I mean, it's freezing. And your whole body would just be like that, and then we'd at the last minute plunge in, and we'd be like that. And everything in your body is fighting
the chatter
to not, we're having to say it's wonderful. And I feel like I sound really strained. I think that's why I had to ADR that one. Because I was like, that's wonderful.
Well, speaking of action, the Jack the Giant Killer trailer is out, and we see a little bit of your night in that. Do you have a lot more action we're going to see?
I haven't. The only trailer I've seen, I'm barely in it.
I know, yeah.
Well,
that's what I was asking about.
How dare they? Fucker. Anyway, Well, I'm in it.
Stanley in it.
I'm in it more than I'm in the... No, it's basically none of us really appear. Nick?
Oh.
Who's a lovely young actor,
Lovely.
very nice Nick Holt. He's a very talented young boy.
Yeah.
What was the question? Why am I not on the trailer?
No,
I don't
no.
fucking know. I think it's a disgrace. What, do they want to sell the film or not?
What are we going to see when we see more of the movie?
I've got no idea. I just hope that it'll be fine. I'm not selling this film today, am I? More coffee. More coffee.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a nice... it's a lovely film.
Emily, I'd love to
Yeah.
see some of Looper when they release trailers for that.
Yeah.
What kind of part do you have in that with Bruce and Joseph?
I play a very tough Kansas farm girl.
Is that the one with the shotgun that you sent a picture of? Oh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I don't know how much I could say about Looper, actually. I'm sort of sworn to secrecy on that one because there's a lot of complex twists and turns in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very cool, tightly woven thriller, you know, and set in an incredibly real way in this futuristic backdrop. It's just really...
Is it in the future?
Yeah, it's like 2030
Oh, okay.
or like 2040.
Looper. There's a film title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm done. Yeah.
it's interesting. We saw Hunger Game in this movie, and both of movie kind of describing about publicity stunt, how people kind of be able to be manipulated by publicity things. So how you guys see the modern society right now, because you're celebrities and chasing by.
Well, actors. I hate the word celebrities. I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
But how do you see this kind of modern publicity stunt?
Well, I don't think. First of all, our film's about. There is the element of the publicist, the British Prime Minister's publicist, spinning everything, and I think in terms of politics, that's an absolute reality.
Absolutely.
And so we're constantly fed,
But I do think with the
that's
media,
they've got a
like-
name that they're called spin doctors, so
Spin
that
doctors.
it's like professional liars, to take facts that they don't want us to not know about and spin them into something else.
And I think the tabloids
What are
are
we playing at that we accept
professional
that?
liars.
I think that's ridiculous. I would hate to think of the Sheikh certainly isn't the Salmon project in the Yemen isn't a publicity stunt. It's what he really believes in, and it's a very true passion of his that he's not using for publicity reasons. He does it because he believes in it, I think. What were you going to say?
No, I was thinking when she was saying how do we feel about the media and how these
I never
things-
speak to the media, do you? I try very hard, I never speak to them.
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the tabloids are professional liars, really, and I think stories are, created and in a very reckless way nowadays. When it comes to this is the people's lives that you're talking about, and so I do think it's definitely getting worse in that sense. The media, when it comes to people in the public eye, I guess, or people who are in this sort of profession. But yeah, it's better not to read anything.
I don't read anything.
Don't Google yourself, it'll ruin your day.
Speaking of Googling stuff, I read that the first fish you caught was Ewan's dog.
Yeah, poor little Sid.
What is it?
I just gave it a go because these two persuaded me I should.
I
I
didn't
didn't
try
want
to.
to. I was perfectly happy sitting by the fireplace in our Scottish
Yeah,
lodge.
come on.
I
There's a
said, oh
pond.
no, I'm
We were
fine. I
thinking
don't
this-
even have any Wellington boots. I'm fine. And he was like, come on, it'll be fun. And he has this lovely little dog, Sid, who's just our friend. I love that dog so much. And he was just scampering around behind me. I hooked him on the first cast.
Yeah, it was actually a very nice cast as well.
It was a
very
nice
nice
one.
cast.
It
It didn't go through his
awful.
skin, it just got caught in his front.
That's fair.
He was alright.
So it can be used as a weapon. So.
Yeah, it's very effective. Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't be nice to be whipped across the face by a fly.
Did I hear your character correctly at the beginning, talking to Robert, describing herself as quiet and shy like Hitler? Is that what you said? That was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in comparison to Hitler in my life.
I think that was a line. You'll have to speak to Simon Beaufoy about that.
I had noticed it in Seattle when I saw it the other night for the first time.
Like Hitler.
She said she's shy like Hitler.
I know. It's kind of out there.
The first time I saw the film, I didn't notice it. So
Yeah, I
it
thought it was
scared
a
me.
bit out there. But I thought
I'll tell you in private.
Oh, go on then.
But it was part of that stuff, though, those kinds of things, what like, drew you in those first few
It was the
pages.
Hitler line that
The Hitler line, really. I was
If I
like,
could say
I'm
that.
going to be like Hitler, signed. It's sort of a combination, really. It's not. I don't tend to pick out specific moments or anything. It either leaps out to you and speaks to you in a way, or it doesn't. And I just loved it. I loved it in the first 10 pages. I loved it. I thought it was so funny and it had such wit. I think there was something whimsical about it that felt different, and that's always a good thing.
Ewan, were you excited about the chance that the Star Wars movies are coming out again in 3D?
It's all about Star
I
Wars.
know. Lupus.
Who'd you write for? StarWars.com. I was excited about it in terms of there being there's a generation of kids that didn't see it in the cinema, and because I think the first one came out, I don't know how long ago it was, 10 years ago or more.
99.
Was it?
Look
Well, there we
at these nerds. They're like, narny.
So there's a whole bunch of, there's a whole generation of children that didn't get to see it in the cinema. So it's nice that they get the chance.
Your kids don't care, though.
Not really. But kids love it. I mean, I think that's one of the things that is easy to forget. And I come across it every day with friends' kids and people I meet in the streets, kids, and the absolute passion for the Star Wars movies that they have is exactly what we had when we watched them when we were kids. I'm probably older than both of you, but really not by very much. And that's easily forgotten when you're an adult. And I like that the kids. I love it when kids ask me stuff about stuff.
You do?
It's such fun, yeah.
Well, do you have to...
They want to know how to know. No, some of them don't. There was one kid once didn't believe that mom was like, "That's Obi-Wan Kenobi," and it's like, "No, it's not." And I was sniffing that. I was.
I am.
And they were like,
yeah.
"No." And I ended up chasing them, going, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's the thing.
Chasing them around the house.
Kids just crush you with that. I had a girl come up to me and she went, "Are you the girl from Bridge to Dartmouth?" Yeah. And I was like, "I'm not actually." And she went, "Are you the girl from the Gilmore Girls?" And I went, No, I'm not." And then she went, and she walked away, and I heard myself go, "But I was in The Devil Wears Prada." And she turned around and she went, I was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with me? These kids just crush you."
How many people come up to you and say they won stomach flu away?
I would say it happens every other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Or it's one of the quotes. It just depends if you're traveling, it'll be someone on a plane, and it's lovely because those lines that I was given in that film were just heaven, and that's why I loved playing that part. It was just a gift, truly. It was wonderful. So I don't mind when people quote it, but sometimes they get the quote wrong, and you feel like you have to correct it. They're like,
Actually, the line was.
They're like, I'm just one stomach virus away from, and I'm like, no, that's not okay. It's not it. Never mind.
Well, it's funny you brought up age and differences in generations. Well, this is purely selfish on my part.
I'm old now.
No, this is purely selfish on my part because I heard we're birthday twins celebrating a day at the end of the month, so.
Oh, when's your
And
birthday?
they could be here in LA.
Are you 31st of March?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday. How old are you going to be?
I'm going to be 32.
Are you? So am I. That's amazing. On exactly the same day.
You and that's not true.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, how am I going to celebrate
In
it?
LA and
I'm going to be skiing, I think, probably. I'm going to be skiing in Utah, I think, somewhere.
But you're turning 41, aren't you?
Yeah.
How
So
dare
you
you?
great, really. Like the whole time
Well, you're very kind.
But, fitness-wise, it looks great. Watching the film, you don't
She's
know
saying
how
your
it
body
looks.
looks great.
Yeah.
I love that she said fitness.
Nice, thanks. I don't do any fitness at all.
Yeah.
So
They're like,
I don't really, no, not really.
That's impressive.
I've got 4 kids, though.
we actually both, when we were doing salmon fishing, we both separately, without telling each other, had started doing Bikram yoga, which was really weird.
Yeah.
And then neither of us, because we were living on other
Then we didn't
sides of
carry on with
London.
it, did we?
No, well, I tried it. It's
So
so
strict.
strict.
Come on.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, it's too hot.
Ooh,
It's not the heat, it's the teaching style's a bit
I
strict.
like it better.
Like, come on, we came here to relax.
I know.
It's not my cup of tea. If you like Kundalini, you'd love it. Spiritual.
Kundalini.
Kundalini.
Oh, I love it.
That's my favorite kind of yoga. Okay.
Moving on.
Thank you very much.
Take care.